we're reviewing Noble Knights today, guys, for no discernible reason. Guess what? They're my favourite deck of all time, so this is what we're going to have to deal with. Okay. Sticky as all hell. I love Noble Knights. They are my calling, and it's great to, give people a hard time with a deck that they know they hate. But let's go into the lineup first. 3 draw, combo starter, gets your stuff out of the deck, summons out of the deck, pops a Noble Arms equipped to him, which can then re-equip to, I don't know, Boars. Just a suggestion. When Boars is equipped with Noble Arms, you can reveal 3 Noble Arms cards. Don't have to be different names. From your deck, add one of them to your hand, and the others get sent to the graveyard. This is a random choice by your opponent, but if you choose to excavate the same cards, it's not really random, is it? But yeah, that's the old school combo. Then again, you might want to be playing 3 copies of Brothers. Brothers is amazing, summons Noble Knights out of your hand for no reason, and is a soft 1% Emerald effect. Shuffle 3 Noble Arms or Noble Knights from the graveyard back into the deck, draw a card. Nothing else more to say, really. 3 Gwain because Gwalchavad, Madrort, and I think there's another one that can be treated as... I think Boars as well can be treated as a light normal monster when it's not equipped with a Noble Arms card, so you can just summon this guy out of the hand, no problem. Double Custonin can summon himself out of the hand if you control the Noble Arms. And if he's used as Xyz's Synchro or Link material for the summon of a Noble Knight monster, then that Noble Knight monster gains the effect to additionally summon 1 Noble Knight from your hand that turn. Dristan's really good because while you control another Noble Knight monster, your opponent cannot target monsters with less than 1800 attack, except this card for attacks. And when it's equipped with a Noble Arms, you can target 1 face-up card on the field, destroy that target. Hard once per turn. So when he's equipped with a Noble Arms, pops a face-up card on the field, you can combine this with Glory of the Noble Knights, which is a quick play spell that lets you equip any from your deck. So you can summon this guy, set the Glory, flip it up in your opponent's turn, and disrupt them like that by popping the monster they just summoned. 1 Gwalchavad for recursion. This guy lets you add Noble Knight monster from your graveyard back to the hand. Which is really good. So to explain it in more detail, you activate the effect, you pop the Noble Arms equipped to it, and add the monster back to hand. He turns into a light normal monster, so say if you targeted Gwain in graveyard, you add it back to hand, he becomes normal, summon the Gwain, and you can make more combos. Ivan, when equipped with a Noble Arms equipped spell, you can special summon a Noble Knight token, and while he's equipped with a Noble Arms, all other Noble Knights gain 500 attack, so that he helps you push the game as well as go into his old. We're playing 1 each of the level 5s. We're playing 1 Black Launcelin because you can summon him out of the hand by sending a face-up light normal monster you control to the graveyard, and he can also tribute Noble Knights you control to search out Noble Arms. He can special summon himself from hand or grave by banishing 2 Noble Knights from graveyard, and also if he's used as material for the Synchro or Xyz summon of a Noble Knight, that summon can't be responded to, can't be negated or responded to by effects. So if you use him to go into the rank 5, they can't stop it, no matter what they have. We're playing 1 Gwennifer, Queen of Noble Arms. So she can equip herself from hand or graveyard to a Noble Knight you control, and her applications are depending on the attribute of the equipped monster. So if it's light, if the equipped monster will be destroyed, you can destroy this card instead. But if it's dark, when the equipped monster battles a monster, you can use the effect, destroy that monster, and then destroy her. So she's another way of removing sort of hard to deal with cards. 3 Morgan, she's sort of like the Subterra Fiendess of the deck, but not quite as broken and not searchable. So she can negate anything by discarding herself from the hand. It is as long as you control a Noble Arms equipped to a Noble Knight, because you discard her, pop the Noble Arms, and then you can negate the activation of a card or effect, which is awesome. For the Noble Arms lineup, we're playing 2 Destiny, Protection from Destruction. It's a stable card, you really want to see this one. 1 Gallatin, boosts by 1000, reduces by 200 every standby phase, but again, a really strong card to have, one that you can't be going without. Another one, time rules are a thing now, boost 500, gain 500 life points every turn with this card. 500 attack, not the best, but this card might save your life in a pinch. 1 copy of Clarent. This card's really cool because you can pay 500 life points to let the equipped monster attack directly that turn. So if you want to cheese a game, then this is the card to use. 1 Excalibur, targeting protection by card effects for the monster equipped. Don't want to go without this one. Also, if it's in your graveyard and it's been there for a while, you can banish it from the graveyard to basically rank up one of your Noble Knight Xyz monsters 1 rank higher into another Noble Knight. The 1 Fugitive for the for destroying set cards on the field by reducing the equipped monster's attack by 500. You know, it's a good card to have. And then for search power, we're playing 3 Heritage of the Chalice. This can search any Noble Arms card or Noble Knight monster, as well as the fact that you can recur it from the graveyard with its own effect, which is quite insane. Controversial 3 of, but I love this card too much to not include it. 3 Glory of the Noble Knights. It's a quick play spell that simply lets you target a Noble Knight monster you control and equip it with 1 equip spell from your deck that can equip to that target. So in theory, you could actually use this in conjunction with the new warrior support and equip the new what's that card called? Raptinus Megablade. I forget it, but you know, it's always a possibility that you could use some of those really cool techs in this deck, as well as God Phoenix Gearfried. That'd be a really nice, powerful card to have in the deck to use, as long as you're not knocking yourself out with the Noble Knight effects anyway. 3 Call by the Grave to let your pet plays go through and stop your opponent. Pretty standard card. And then the 3 copies of Until Noble Arms are needed once again. This card is, I don't know if you played Furhires, but it's sort of like a mixture of Raphael. So when activated, you excavate cards from the top of your deck up to the number of, equal to the number of Noble Arms you control. And you can add 1 card from that selection to your hand. And you can also banish it from the graveyard except the turn it was sent, to special summon a Noble Knight from your deck whose name is different to the Noble Knights you control or in your graveyard. So really strong card. It's really cool to just excavate this off of, add this off of boards, because you're adding this, sending the other 2 to the graveyard, meaning you have 2 special summons from deck waiting to use either in the next turn or just generally. So, you know, really good. Now moving on to the extra deck. Our favourite Link monster of all time, 2 years old, in its home. On summon, you can add a warrior from deck to hand, but can't do anything with it. Fair enough. And you all know how she works. Send equips with different names from your deck to the graveyard to special summon any warrior from your deck that's with the same level as the number. So send 4 equips with different names, special summon that level 4 warrior. Bob's your uncle, you know. Take you back in time to Goki format, aren't we? Then we are playing 2 Altorogus, King of the Noble Knights. This guy still puts in so much work. He's really easy to go into, equips them, equips spells from graveyard to him, synergizes extremely well with his old. It's just so good. Destroys back row, really good to deal with control decks, but can also put combo decks, give combo decks some hurt, and he's really hard to get rid of if he's equipped with the right cards. Then we are playing 3 of Sacred Custodim. This guy, he's cool. I play him, I max out on him because he has that generic sort of removal effect. So he targets, but he bounces to hand, which means cards like Thunder Dragon, Colossus aren't safe from this guy. Long story short. And also, if he's destroyed, you can summon him from the graveyard and then immediately slap any other Noble Knight Xyz monster on top of him as material and go from there, basically. There's a combination you can do. It's very hard to pull off, but if the game goes on long enough, say, this is where we'll sort of segue into the rank 5 Sacred Noble Knight of King Artorigus. So this guy can detach material to himself to destroy any other face-up monster on the field. He also equips 3 equips from the graveyard to himself, and he floats into a level 4 or higher Noble Knight from the graveyard when he's destroyed, but that's regardless. So what you can do is, if you summon him and have Sacred Custonin on field as well, you can use him to destroy the Custonin, and then the Custonin will summon itself back, and then you can just go into another Artorigus, because you can do that, and because it's treated as an Xyz summon, you then get additional equip spells equipped on that Artorigus, so you then have 2 really difficult monsters to deal with on the board with these 2 guys. But yeah, that's been my Noble Knight deck profile, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Not everyone likes to play against this deck, but it's one of those decks that can do really well in certain situations and scenarios, and it's just a really fun deck to play. It's not fun for people to play against, but it's come leaps and bounds from the sort of protect the castle strategy of days gone by, basically. So yeah, that's been the deck profile. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to be attending YCS London, albeit, you know, kind of reluctantly, but I won't be playing Noble Knights. I've got my deck sorted out for it, though. I want to try and do as well as I can, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But until then, guys, it's been Big Al, and hope everyone has an amazing day. See ya.